Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fadi, Gwanny and LTL, Live Talks Live, and today we're going to talk about leadership. Where does it become from? Where does it come through from? How do we build it? What happens inside the mind of the leader before he becomes that leader, before the leadership is born in him? How do we put together this equation of a leader? What happens to him in his mind first? And what happens to us when we hear him? You have to understand that at a certain point, a leader begins observing his perception of life. And when he starts observing that perception of life, he starts reshuffling and folding in and out and recreating and busting and breaking down to hallucinate a new perception, something that can serve him and serve the world more epically. What happens in a leader's mind is that, and you have to understand before that, is that there is one reality, but there is like 7.5 billion different perceptions of this reality. So what a leader does is he takes his perception and he knows there is more. He knows he can achieve more in that area. Something about his perception just doesn't click with him. And understanding what we can do with our perception can be manipulated. It can be mediated. It can be shifted, broken, folded, unfolded, and a new perception comes into life. And that's where first spark of birth for a leader starts happening. He sees what's going around and it doesn't fulfill him. There is more. He knows it and he's about to contribute to a major change. So the first thing a leader does is change his perception of what is actually happening. The reality, there is only one reality, but his perception of it is not clicking in. So he starts manipulating, and once that happens, a new perception finds birth. And that perception, chances are, that perception is about to shift the world. And that's the birth of a vision. He starts feeding that vision, growing it, living it, believing it. It turns into a conviction. And from this stage, he begins sharing it with the world. I have a new perception of how technology can break through, of how we can live together, of how you can live. I've tried this perception and it served me. Chances are it's going to serve you too. If I come and tell you today, I think I have a better way where we can actually live. I know it, I felt it, I've seen it, I walked out of that cave. That old perception does not serve us anymore. Here's a new one, and it's full of hope and full of life. Would you believe me? Would you listen? Would you talk about it? And you have to understand that once the followers start happening, that's where the vision becomes reality. And it's manipulating perceptions is not fake or a bad thing, or it's not a bad time, a bad way of manipulation. Because once you adapt that new perception, that becomes your reality, that becomes your truth. And there is no reason for you to adapt it if it's not powerful, if it doesn't serve you. So that's where the followers kick in, and you have to realize something. Don't underestimate what the followers do. Today, I would follow anybody with a powerful perception. Anybody with a vision that would shift my life. Anybody with a vision that would take me, my family, everything around me, everybody around me forward. I'd follow that person. I was a leader in my industry. And when I started it, everybody thought this is not going to work here in Egypt. This photography style doesn't serve people. I had a vision. And what happened was, once I started believing more, people started following. Today, it's the followers who are taking higher steps. I'm proud to say that. Followers who are recreating more. Leaders are coming out of followers. So that tells us something. If you want to become a leader today, learn to follow. Adapt those new perceptions. Take them in. Observe. It's okay to manipulate your current perception, because perceptions are just blocks of thoughts, blocks of information that you've gathered over time. Now it's the time to look at it differently. Shuffle those blocks, shuffle that information. See how it works now. Not a clear reception. I'm breaking up. Is it a breakdance? Signal weak. Yes, I read that, but is it working now? Well, so the concept of the followers is very important. You find somebody who's presenting you with a perception, you go right in there. All right? You find a perception that is rising within you, a true change that is coming forth. Dive in there. Dive in there, take it through. And not everybody has to believe in your perception at the beginning. Not everybody has to see your vision. So don't let anybody break you down if you have this true perception, true vision of where things should go. Just move forth. Followers are going to click. Followers are going to find you because they've been looking for that leader to make that shift. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my idea about leadership. Again, nothing that I've self-created. All a matter of information that's built up, that created my perception. And if tomorrow somebody comes with a different perspective about leadership, I'm all in. I'm all in. Because he's going to teach me how to correctly lead people through with something that is worth leading people through. I want to know how he's going to do it. I want to learn that. I'm going to become that follower so I can excel to that proper leader. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to add a little extra thing today. Of course, I would always encourage you to send us messages with questions. Have a free session with us. Let us help dissolve some of the obstacles in your way. But alternatively, if you have questions here and now, I'm open for that. We're willing to break those 7 minutes. If you're willing to ask any questions now, I'm all here. So we're going to give it a few moments. If you have any questions regarding this topic, and you know what, regarding any topic, and you believe I can help you, my live videos are yours. Please bust in with those questions. If you don't catch me on the live video, feel free to email us at info@livetalkslive.com. Send us a message here on this fan page. And we're going to get back to you as soon as possible. Any questions, any comments, any improvements on anything we say, we're open to. So ladies and gentlemen, have a blissful evening. Have a great time. Can we meet in person, talk and learn? Well, it depends which country you're in. I'm in Cairo, but there's a lot of beautiful people in Qatar and in Dubai. So a lot of the rest of the coaches were all around different regions. By all means, you can meet with us one-on-one. Definitely. Skype is an option if we're going across countries. So definitely we can do that. If you're in Cairo, I'm already preparing weekly sessions that are live, seminars, so that can work as well. I hope that answered your question. Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in today. And we're all looking forward to Kelsey talking tomorrow about leadership. And you can definitely tune in to understand how you can follow your heart. I can imagine Kelsey talking about leadership, and it'll be pure magic, ladies and gentlemen. And follow through the rest of our coaches. Each one has a different flavor to add, and they're pure magic. Thank you very much, and have a great evening.